Today's video question is by Michael E. Great video. Appreciate your perspective on teaching / mentoring. What is the best way to find a team that is supportive like you? Understand what you're okay with. Understand what you're not okay with. Set boundaries and respect those boundaries. No one is going to respect you like you do. It's like, I will try my best, to show courtesy, to be courteous, be respectful, empathetic. But at the end of the day, no one is going to care about yourself like you do. In my videos, I speak quite a bit about not putting up with chefs driven by ego or yelling or just ridiculous shit like that, for show. That's what I did. That's what it is for me, like for show. Like if I ask a chef a question and he wants to yell at me for 3, that's fucking great. I'm not the one whose day is being ruined by a question. He's the one that's electing that, I'm not getting frustrated over that. It's just ridiculous. Like, we all got to clock out at some point, right? 100%, there's certain kitchens where I can tolerate more of that and I'll stay because maybe I see the value of learning or staying in that kitchen. There's things that I'm like, you know what, I like it, and this piece of shit is worth dealing with. I've been with people, same kitchen, and they're like, no, like, fuck that guy. I'm out. And that's fine, but it all goes, it goes to the same old rule. If you want to find a kitchen that works for you, you have to be willing to just try out different kitchens. And that's really rough, man. Like, when I started out cooking, I remember just people making comments about me. Like, just comments that I was just jumping too much from restaurant to restaurant. I can't put it in words, but I think everyone knows what I mean. Like, sorry, I haven't found a job that works for me and that I'm not there like 15 years or anything, it took a minute. But eventually, through trial and error, I found kitchens that worked for me. I've given notices. I've been fired. The only one where I got let go of, I didn't care. I saw the value of being in that kitchen, and I knew my days were numbered because I wasn't going to play ball with them. There's just no way I'm going to play ball with someone that just because you have the title automatically means you get the respect. Not at all. Title, that's fucking great. So now I know where you are at the hierarchy. I'm not going to question you. I'll do whatever you need to. But if you're, you got that ego coming up, you can't shut up about the Michelin star restaurants you've been in. You can't stop trying to quiz people over some obscure fact that you learned in culinary school. Like, I'm not there for that. And I don't care. And I'm not going to be here and act impressed. I'm like, oh my God, you're so cool, chef. I don't care. So, little things like that. It was also a lot of mental, and it also affects the way you work because you don't do as best as you can when people aren't bringing it. It's up to you go there with an open mind, with a positive attitude. They should be able to take that and help you out the best they can. Be a team, but it's very hard to work for a team where you've seen them talk shit about their own coworkers. They'll totally be so. You guys remember that scene of I think it was Mean Girls.
Oh my God, I love your skirt. Where did you get it?
It was my mom's in the 80s.
Vintage. So adorable.
Thanks.
That is the ugliest effing skirt I've ever seen. Oh my God, I love your bracelet. Where did you get it?
I've been in that situation. I've seen that situation. I've been that guy where I'm sure they helped me out, but they definitely just talking mad shit. It's like, dude, sorry, I didn't know how to fucking do that. Don't be afraid to jump around. There's a kitchen out there for you, okay? There's going to be great kitchens that are maybe not the fanciest, and there's going to be shitty kitchens that aren't the fanciest. There's going to be fine dining kitchens that are ran by pieces of shit. There's going to be fine dining kitchens that are ran by just regular ass people. There's fine dining kitchens that ran entirely by immigrant labor. And they're not at all foodies. They're not at all like about that life. It's just a job, but they kick ass. There's a kitchen out there for everyone. Okay? Your job is just go, do your best, see if you're a good fit. If you don't feel like you're vibing, if you don't just feel like you're a good fit, go find another one. It's really that simple. I don't know what else to tell you. But yeah, that's a great question. I think anyone that starts in culinary, that needs to be sort of like your first, let's just say your first 3 years, aside from focusing on the craft, is find the right kitchen for you. Those two things. You're getting into the culinary world tomorrow. You're getting into the kitchen. You're thinking about it. Two things you need to be thinking about. One is skill. Learn the skill, learn the skill, learn the skills. Learn the skills that are relevant to your kitchen. Okay, that's great that you spent how many, I covered this in, I think, the last video. You know, like, that's great that you learned all this other shit on your own time, but are you good at doing things that are required at your current kitchen? So that's one, work on those skills. Second, are you in a community that is supportive of you, that's helping you, that's with your style? Again, me, I could definitely be in a kitchen where the chef is a little more on the yelly side, a little more on the angry side. I can deal with that. And I can especially deal with that if I know that the chef is coming from a good place. So just find what works for you. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Work on your skills and find the kitchen that works for you. Once you find the kitchen that works for you, you stay there as long as possible. And as sucky as this is, at some point when you've learned everything that you can from this kitchen, there's not another ceiling you've hit as high as you can go. Then you gotta start all over again and look for another kitchen, either for a better position, more skills to learn, etc., etc., etc. So this next question comes from Ryan. I know you did a video about poor work ethic. Can you discuss how to deal with shitty coworkers, people with with attitude problems? We can't get anyone to work, so it feels like we're scraping from the bottom of the barrel at this point. That is a shitty thing to go through. Shitty ass coworkers. So if you're not management, there's only so much you can do. Look, at the end of the day, it comes down to the chef, right? I know this way too well. Way too well. You're giving me PTSD way too well. It's just a simple case of they bring a value that justifies them being there. That's what it is. And you don't have to agree with it. I don't agree with it, but it just is. It just is, my dude. So how do you deal with, so if you're a line cook, right, with a shitty coworker or attitude problem, here's the good news. He is going to consistently be a piece of shit today, tomorrow, the next day, and the day after that, and the day after that, and then it's your weekend, right? So that means 5 days a week, you have an opportunity to try different things. 5 days in 1 week, 5 different ideas that you can do to sort of manage around these people. I think the first step that everyone goes to, and the one that I went to, the first one, was I just ignored them. Like, fuck you, I'm ignoring you. I'm not there to say hi to you. I'm not saying there bye to you. Unless it's work related, unless I need to know how long it takes on your fucking order for your station, I'm not talking to you. Yeah, if we're during service and I gotta go, and I'm still gonna ask. And that other person, I'm pretty sure, is annoyed by me, right? So fuck it. Why not just kill him with kindness? I know it's really crazy saying that, but some people, especially if they don't like you, holy shit, there's something about like, hey, I noticed you were low on this, so I got it for you. Hey, can you get me something? It just throws them off, like they don't like. But anyway, that's super petty, man. I hate this shit, but it is like that. So you're gonna be the constant, right? They're gonna change, and look, and you go to another kitchen, there's gonna be one of them. You go to another kitchen, there's gonna be another one of them, right? So the best thing you can do is understand this. Bottom line, it's the tickets, it's the food, right? Food needs to make it on the pass. That's what it's all about. Okay? You open up a restaurant to put out food for takeout, delivery, or dine in, right? What I ended up doing was I ended up becoming, I took charge by just, you know what? You're not gonna help. You're not gonna do. These tasks need to get done. I'm going to ask my fellow coworkers, the dishwasher, anyone that I have good rapport with to help me. I'm going to ask the chef to help me. And if things don't get done, if things just don't, then again, I'm going to explain and then say, hey, listen, I did the best I could. You told us that X, Y, and Z needs to be done. If we're here late, chef, can you talk to that guy over there? Maybe get him to be part. Again, talk to your chef about it. If you guys aren't finishing projects on time, if you guys aren't do the best you can. In time, you're going to get better. You're going to learn how to work around it. That's really it. You got to learn how to work around these kind of people, because those people are never going to change. So if they're never going to change, great. That's your opportunity to adapt to them. You're getting a chance every day to adapt. So adapt to that type of person. You know he's not going to take out the trash, so you take out the trash. If it's just a lot of stuff that needs to be done, then you know what? It's you and the other guy that can start doing it. I know this sounds shitty. I know this is fucking bullshit. I know it is. It's pissing me off that I'm having to give you this kind of bullshit advice. But that's the fucking truth. You start letting shitty ass people dictate how your day is going to go, and you're going to have a shitty day. You start dictating how, you start allowing their shitty behavior to have a presence in your mind. Don't come and tell me that fuckery going on in your head caused by that guy is not going to make it onto the dish. Don't tell me that, because that shit is going to come on the dish. Your frustration at some point is just going to fucking give out. So you can either leave and accept and understand that there's going to be another guy waiting for you, rubbing his fucking hands like Birdman, or adapt to it. And in time, communicate with the other guys. When I was working with shitty people, me and the other cooks had a great rapport, and we knew that the other guy wasn't going to help. So what would we do? We'd learn how to work around them. We'd divvy up responsibilities. And at first, it's kind of like a slow struggle, but over time, we got really, really, really good. We got more efficient. We got faster, and we just, we got closer together because we're all in this shitty fucking boat. You can't make shitty people do things that they don't want to do. It just is. Ultimately, it comes down to the owner or to the chef. So if you're the sous chef, you're the lead, you're anyone below the chef, there's really not much you can do. You can go ahead and let the chef know. I definitely encourage that. I don't know where the fuck cooking picked up this fucking no snitching rule. There's certain things that are not worth it. Like, why would you bring that up to the chef? There's no reason to bring up certain stresses or drama. It's not worth it. Things like this, man, it's worth it just so the chef knows, hey, listen, we're going to do the best we can. But if we don't get full support, you can't, you have to be realistic with your expectations. Yeah, dude, it's one of those times where I would love to give you an answer you fire him. That's what you do. You go tell your chef to fire him. I would love to say things like, okay, then all the cooks meet with the chef at one point and you say, fire him or leave. Basically things that revolve around firing, put him, in put him in a position where he just preps and doesn't have to be around people. Get a chef to micromanage him. Any of those would be acceptable answers to me, but unfortunately it just comes down to sorry, you gotta become empowered and become accountable, and you gotta step up and pick up the slack. It's bullshit, but it is that's just the world we live in, man. Sometimes these people just creep on into our kitchens and wreak havoc. And the chef's just like, but he's valuable. But then we'll be short-staffed, and then what are we going to do there? And that's true. Sometimes you can't just go and fire someone, because then it fucks up the team entirely, you know? Then you're like, then who are we going to hire, you know? It's a tough one. But the best thing that you can do is focus on yourself. The best thing that you can do is figure out workaround. The best way you can do is, in some ways, kill them with kindness and just start like, hey, do you need anything? Be more proactive. Get to know the person. You get to know the person, you get to know how to defeat that. Not that you're going to defeat the person, but you understand what I'm saying. I think someone said that, like, learn thy enemy, or learn, you know, like learn them, respect them. Like, you got to humanize these people. Like, he's a shitty person, you know, you got to refer to him by his name. You got to learn what he likes, figure out the kind of shitty person that he is. Once you learn, then you can figure out ways how to maybe to like low-key motivate him, you know, use his ego to your advantage, you know, use his, you know, if he doesn't give a shit, he likes taking breaks a lot, great. Get shit done when he's not around. If he's someone that just likes to stay on his station, great. Let that fucking cockroach stay in his pathetic little station, and you guys kick ass around him, you know? But just make sure, you know, you gotta always be courteous. You guys gotta, you know, ask if he's still part of the team. And if you start down this path of just like, well, I'm not gonna talk to him because he's an asshole. Well, I'm just not gonna do this. You're no different than he is. You're just now a different version. You're now like some self-righteous asshole in the kitchen. Like, well, I'm not going to help. I've had that happen to me. Like, I'm not going to set up the station because I know Josue's opening the next day. Well, fuck. Thanks, dude. So that wraps up this first round of questions. I wasn't sure if I was going to answer all the questions in one go, but I decided I should just split it up. I will be answering more questions this week. So stay tuned. Thank you, and have a great service.